Well, buenos dias.
Good morning.
You know, I don't, like...
Hello, bonjour.
I know that buenos dias is a greeting, but I don't know what the actual... Like, is that good morning? Or is it... Is it hello? Is it...
You may marry my daughter. I don't know.
I'm fairly ignorant when it comes to Spanish. I don't have a whole lot of knowledge.
It might be good morning.
Buenos
Yeah.
definitely means good.
Yeah.
Good day. Good day.
Google
It's got to be day. Dias to be day.
Good morning. Good morning is what Google's telling me.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
There you go. Well, buenos dias.
Yeah. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And also to the listeners, welcome to the show.
Right.
We are, anyway. First of the month, March 1st. What a good day to release an episode.
Yeah, I'm so glad we planned it that way.
It actually, it's just so satisfying being like the very first day of the month. Like, what a better way to celebrate the beginning, the dawn of a new month than an episode of The Movie Man.
Yeah, I think maybe you feel more confidently about that than I do, but anyways, welcome to all of the movie fans, people who love movies, and also to our moms who... Does your mom listen?
She does.
Yeah. I think mine does. My mom listened... I think she for sure listened initially. I think initially she was like, well, it's my son, and I love him, so I'm going to listen. Right. But then maybe she got into it a bit, and she was like, I don't love him that much.
I mean, so I have my limits.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You've got some stuff you're the housekeeping guy.
For sure. Let's get some housekeeping out of the way before we get down to business. The first is we are making some changes to Patreon. And so I just heard someone say actually in the background, what's Patreon? Patreon is a way for you to support our show, for help us to pay the bills, keep the lights on, and for us to kind of use the money to kind of help build and grow the show. So you can check out the link below. There's a bunch of cool goodies from tiers 1 to 4. But the change is anyone who's tier 3 or above, tier 3 has a changed perk. Instead of having what it was before, we're adding that it counts for 5 votes. So when you vote for movies, your vote counts for 5.
Right. So, and I mean, what's crazy about this change is we're literally not asking for anything extra.
Right. No.
We're saying, hey, anyone who's already set up with us, here's a little extra.
Yeah.
Here's some more. Take some more.
Yeah. And
So basically tier 1 for $1 a month.
Yep.
Gets you access to our back catalog of bonus episodes.
Right.
As well as all future bonus episodes. Tier 2, which is $3 a month, gets you the previously mentioned benefits. Plus it gets you 3 times the voting power everywhere that you vote.
Yeah.
For our movie, when we're determining what movie we're going to review next. Tier 3 now gets you all of the previously mentioned shiz. And on top of that, your votes are worth 5. It's $5 a month. So $5 for 5 votes, $3 for 3 votes. And it's not even like, it doesn't even really work out that way because it's $3 a month, but we have more votes than, like, you're getting a lot more than 3 votes for the $3.
Like, I would say way more than 1 vote a month.
Way more. Yeah. And then tier 4 is all of the previously mentioned stuff.
Yep.
Plus, when you sign up, we send you some merchandise.
Right.
So that's, everyone likes that.
Merch.
Yeah.
Swag.
Yeah, so sign up.
Cloth with emblem on it.
Yeah. if you're already signed up, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. We really appreciate it.
If you're already signed up and you're thinking, man, like, I don't feel like I'm giving enough. You know, that's to each their own. To each their own. But if you are signed up, like, that's not me saying, like, I'm not trying to encourage anyone to give more.
No.
If you're already giving, I'm so grateful for you. If you're not giving, I'm also so grateful for you. I'm just,
we're just happy.
I'm saying there's options. You can, basically what I'm saying is if you signed up for tier 1 and you're thinking, oh man, tier 3 sounds wicked awesome. Like, well, I made a mistake. Or tier 2 sounds wicked. It's pretty easy to switch.
Unlike life, this is a Nintendo game where you can kind of redo things or change things. It's not set in stone.
Right. Yeah. Any other housekeeping?
Other than the obligatory, just if you haven't, like, follow, subscribe wherever you follow us on social media and wherever you listen to us. If you have the opportunity to, whether it's on Facebook or Twitter or iTunes, just write us a good review. We really appreciate it. The last piece of housekeeping.
Can I say I was really concerned for a second because our last piece of housekeeping is the fact that we're going to give an incredible shout out to an incredible fan.
Ooh, yes.
And currently our only tier 4 supporter.
Right.
Daphne Kirkpatrick.
Oh, yes.
And I knew we had to
fan.
do that. And so when you started your sentence by saying the obligatory...
Oh, no.
I thought that's where you were going. I thought you were like, well, and the obligatory shout out to Daphne.
Nothing. Obligatory and Daphne don't fit together in the same sentence. At all. I don't think. I mean, let it stew. If you come up with a sentence where it makes sense, like, by all means.
I would say uncontrollable appreciation for Daphne is pretty obligatory. You're naturally obligated to like Daphne. She's great. I feel like that's...
You're not wrong, but the use of the obligatory... the use of the obligatory word was a stretch, but you're not wrong with your intent.
Right. I feel like maybe obligatory is always negative. It's always a hassle.
It does seem not fun. Like, it seems like a hassle. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways.
Daphne. Right. Daphne.
I'm shouting you out.
Yeah.
That actually sounded negative.
I'm also shouting her out because she voted for the movie that didn't win, but a movie that I absolutely adore. So it was a co-shout out.
Which was Saving Private Ryan?
It was, yeah.
It's a good movie.
Very good. I'd argue the best of the 4.
Wow. I would disagree, but that's cool.
I mean, also, the other thing is, the 4 movies that we picked were all good movies. So, I mean, if you made an argument for any of the other 3, I might not agree, but I might be like, you have merit. Like,
I would say it's clearly the least iconic of the 4. But I wouldn't necessarily say that it's the worst of the... I don't know. Like, I feel like, you know, in a pure category of what is iconic, you've got Jurassic Park, which speaks for itself.
Yep.
E.T., which is like a generational film.
Oh, yeah.
Hook, which... is again one of those, like, just from its cast to its story to its execution of it, and then Saving Private Ryan, which is a really great movie, but it's a World War II. World War II movies are a dime a dozen, right? So I think maybe just the just from a genre standpoint, it loses out in its iconicness, but that doesn't diminish from the quality of the film.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, well, we did Steven Spielberg films.
Directed, specifically directed.
Not produced. Because that opens a whole can of...
You really have to draw the line somewhere.
Yeah. And Hook won.
Yeah.
And can
Yeah,
I
it did.
say I'm very happy. That's the one I was rooting for, and I'm pretty sure I was pretty confident going into the vote that Hook stood a really good chance.
This episode I'm going to let you take the reins because you have a horse in this race, and I was like there was a lot of outpouring as far as the volume of votes and attention this movie got during our vote. It was
I feel like you were somewhat caught off guard. Like when I told you
I
Hook was
was.
in the lead,
I
I
was.
feel like you were actually befuzzled.
I completely was. There was another film that was close, but it was close for a little bit, and then just Hook just kind of said, buzz off, and then it just kind of shot ahead and like never looked back.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that just comes to back. Well, we might talk about this later. I don't think I actually had ever fully watched this movie.
Okay.
And so that probably played into it a little bit where I was like, oh, Hook, it's probably a good movie. Probably some people like it, but it's not XYZ, the other movies, so it doesn't stand a chance. And then I was like, oh, apparently it does.
So, I mean, and you gave this film its best chance from a contextual standpoint because you actually you preceded the film by watching the Disney animated Peter Pan.
Right, Peter Pan. And this is kind of at your tutelage because you kind of talked me through it, and obviously you have a bit more invested in Hook, and you were like, if you have the time, check this out. And I don't think it was, and you said this, I don't think it was necessary to watch the two together, but I'm very happy I did.
Right. And I think what's really interesting is although Peter Pan is obviously a Disney film,
right,
and this isn't.
Right.
This does work 100% as a direct sequel. Like it's stylized.
Right.
The costume design, everything is meant to be a continuation of the Disney one.
Right. Oh yeah.
So
yeah, I would agree.
Okay. Well, let's jump into it.
Let's do it.
So the film starts out, Peter Banning is a successful corporate lawyer in San Francisco.
Right.
But his workaholic lifestyle strains his relationship with his wife, Moira, and his children, Jack and Maggie.
Right.
Yeah, and it's the age-old story of dad doesn't make it to baseball games. Dad's on the phone during Maggie's play.
Yeah.
You know? But this film starts out, and you're already right away like Maggie is in a Peter Pan play. She's playing Wendy in a elementary school adaptation of Peter Pan, which is fun. Like it kind of, I feel like there's the theming in this movie is really strong.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm really curious on a lot of these things where you having come into the film a little bit more of a skeptic.
Yes.
As we go through the movie, kind of talk me through your experience, either rediscovering or in some ways discovering the film for the first time.
Yeah.
The family prepares to fly to London to visit Moira's grandmother, Wendy Darling.
Right.
So basically the premise is Wendy Darling, which is Wendy from the Peter Pan story, is a real woman.
Yep.
She is the grandmother of Moira,
Peter's
wife.
Yep.
Who as a child, her and her brothers, Michael and John, came up with some wondrous stories about pirates and mermaids and Lost Boys and Peter Pan. And their neighbor loved the story so much, loved the stories that they told, and he happened to be a publisher, and so he published their stories, and that's how we ended up with the stories of Peter Pan. Is
Right.
kind of the premise. Peter, in an effort to complete his work before leaving, inadvertently misses Jack's baseball game, which is is a really important plot point because it kind of fuels the relationship that Jack and Peter have for the majority of the rest of the film.
Right.
He missed my baseball game. The plane's gonna crash, and you don't get a parachute. Is kind of a it's kind of
pretty,
a reoccurring theme.
That was pretty cold-blooded.
Yeah. Well, in London, Peter is drawn away by work and yells at his children for interrupting them in a business call.
So my thing here is I'm totally on board where I go, Robin Williams, honest to goodness, you're being kind of a neglecting father here. But also, I like probably like 1% of me was still of the mindset, like, kids, just for like 30 seconds, can you guys let dad take this business call? Like, just for 30 seconds. Do you have to yell at him incessantly, like right when he picks up the phone?
Yeah, I mean, I think when I watch it, because Moira is not doing anything to hush them either.
True.
And I think what I kind of pick up on is, you know what, the last 5 years have been a business call.
Right. True.
And I think Moira's reached the point where if Peter's career needs to tank in order for him to reconnect with his children, that's an acceptable loss.
Right.
And so she's just kind of she doesn't emotionally have the strength to encourage or fuel anything business related for him, because because his work and his addiction to work has just become such a sore spot.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah, I get it. It's one of those things in film where the practicality of it is like, if it's just a one-off in real life, just stop talking. But it's obviously used as a device to illustrate his life up to that point where business comes first. The kids are ignored and yelled at and neglected and whatnot.
And really displays some range for Robin Williams. Like, this is one of those roles where, yes, there's some really funny moments.
Yep.
And he's got some of his typical Robin Williams lines.
Right.
But at the same time, yeah, like, we see him cry, we see him yell, we see all sorts of range from him in this movie.
Yeah.
This causes an argument between Moira and Peter, in which she ends up throwing Peter's cell phone out the window.
Right. And so, just giving you my indication of how I felt about this movie. So we'll get into some spots. There were some spots, like in any movie, that I felt like dragged a little bit, and I wasn't like, oh, this scene is just magic. But there were some absolutely just heart-melting scenes for me. And one of them was where they had this argument, and Maura was like, listen, you're spewing away these years of this, your children being like young and imaginative and actually wanting to have anything to do with you. If you don't stop ignoring them, pretty soon you're going to wake up and then you'll be chasing them for some attention and they'll be ignoring you. Kind of like the cats in the cradle thing. And that argument, I was like, okay, this is, you got to wake up here, to Robin Williams. You got to wake up.
Yeah. He responds incredibly well to her throwing the phone out the window. Like, he doesn't yell at her. He doesn't lose it with her. He's just kind of more like, he kind of laughs a little bit in sort of this confused, like, what actually just happened? Like,
right.
What are you crazy? Like, what? You know, he doesn't like fly off the handle, and so good on him.
And when you have to think of the context too, I never thought of that. Like if someone threw your, Android out the window today, I would still be kind of upset. But especially in the 90s, like when personal cell phones were kind of like new and incredibly expensive, like that's a big deal.
They're still incredibly expensive.
Fair.
A new phone is like $1,200 if you buy it outright.
That's true. The cost hasn't changed,
ridiculous.
Just the capabilities have.
Yeah. That evening, Peter, Moira, and Wendy attend a charity dinner in Wendy's honor. Yeah, they're opening like an orphanage for her.
Right.
Because it turns out that Wendy has, over the years, facilitated in the adoption of many orphans. Like that's kind of been her
a ton.
been her legacy.
Mm-hmm.
While Toodles, and an old friend of Wendy, and Liza, Wendy's housekeeper, watch over the children. When the adults return, they discover the house ransacked, the children missing, and a ransom note supposedly written by Captain James Hook.
Yeah.
And this is where you kind of... this is where the Peter Pan theming, this is where the secret kind of begins to unravel. And obviously I know where the story is going, but I think it'd be so interesting to sit and watch this film for the first time with no preconceived notion of what it is about, right? And so I think that moment would be so interesting when Wendy tells Peter,
right,
your
kids are in Neverland, and
your kids are in Neverland. The stories are real.
Right. Yeah.
You are Peter Pan.
You are Peter Pan. These are real stories. Yeah.
To which he clearly he dismisses pretty.
he thinks he's like dying or having a stroke or something.
Well, he thinks that and he thinks that Wendy is like she's
a Freudian. Oh yeah, Wendy's up there, but like he thinks Tinkerbell, and he thinks like when he sees Tinkerbell, he thinks it's like a Freudian hallucination or something.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. Eventually, she shows up, but like even just in Wendy saying like,
right.
Because Wendy talks about like the way she breaks into it is she says she's kind of reminiscing, and she tells him like, right. She looks at him before she even says you're Peter Pan or any of that stuff. She looks at him and she's talking about how she used to be so in love with him, and she was always convinced that he would show up and they would someday be married and all of this stuff, but he never showed.
He's like, Grandma,
yeah,
this is weird.
He's got this like what is happening? What are you talking about, right?
Grandma.
They did an incredible job of aging Maggie Smith. Let's just talk about the fact that Maggie Smith plays Wendy.
Yeah.
And she's only 56 years old when they filmed this.
Really?
But they've aged her right up. Like they've easily put 40 years on her.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Because she's just only now starting to look the way that she did when this film came out.
Right. Yeah, that is incredible.
Yeah. When they Peter tries to involve the authorities, but Wendy tells Peter they cannot help and reveals to him that he really is Peter Pan. It is later explained that Peter had visited Wendy when she was a girl and had taken her to Neverland frequently. Although Peter never aged, Wendy did, and eventually became too old to make the journey. It is at this time that Peter met young Moira, fell in love with her, and decided to stay in the real world.
Right.
Which I think is a fun continuation of what you see in the Disney animated one.
Right.
Right, that there was that initial adventure that they went on.
Yep.
But then he came back for her many times.
Right. Yeah.
And she would come and they would hang out and all of this stuff. And then she kept getting older and older and older, and he stayed the same. Excuse me, I don't know. My voice is
Dying.
I'm getting all choked up about this movie. Yeah. Fell in love. Decided. Peter grew up, forgot his memories of Neverland, and became
Very
Peter
much so.
Banning.
Lame. What a lame last name.
Yeah. Peter refuses to accept his story, but then encounters Tinkerbell, who uses pixie dust to bring him back to Neverland. And this is a fun scene.
Yeah.
Because Tinkerbell is played by Julia Roberts.
Yep.
And yeah, she's just, I feel like she did a really good job of capturing Tinkerbell's energy.
Yeah, it's hard to translate because the cartoon Tinkerbell never spoke.
She never spoke.
So it was a nice transition to have a speaking actor, a known actor, and like a real human being play that role.
Well, and you gain some insight in the scene into their time after, because during the animated one, Tink goes through a little bit of a envious stage over Wendy.
Big time. She tries to have Wendy killed. She practically hires a hitman to kill Wendy.
Yeah. But again, like it's in these scenes that they reference the animated one, right? She says, like, I drank poison for you.
Right.
You used to call me Tink. Like, just it's so well tied into,
very subtly but seamlessly.
Yeah. In such a way that you don't, this world that they've created of Neverland doesn't it doesn't require any figuring out.
Right.
They basically look at you and say, there's an established idea of this world, and we're going to stay true to that so that you feel like you're returning to a place you've already been.
Right. Yeah.
You don't need to discover anything new.
Which is, again, why I'm glad I watched Peter Pan prior to watching this. Just because I think a lot of things would have just not been out of place, but just would have just been there. Like all these references and subtle sub rosa things, and I would have just been like, yeah, okay.
Tinkerbell drops Peter within the ranks of Hook's pirates, but both she and Hook realize that Peter lacks any of the skills that Peter Pan used to have.
So just to clarify, so like, was she? I'm just wondering why she dropped him off on all places right in the lion's den. Like, was she? So I guess she just didn't realize he had lost all his skill, completely and utterly.
Right, you're Peter
Pan. And was just of no.
This is she dropped him off. The point was that he was there to rescue his kids. So she took him to where his kids were.
Okay.
You're Peter Pan. Get your kids.
Yeah. I guess just, I feel that she should have been more cognizant or aware of, he was not picking up on any of the vibes or taking off on anything she said. He was just kind of like, huh? Peter what? But
yeah, I mean, she's a fairy who has spent the last however many 100 years hanging out with children.
Right. True.
And doesn't have, right, like who's Neverland is a much simpler life.
Right.
There aren't these complex issues. And so, maybe she's not as sensitive to that.
Yep.
And it just kind of makes sense to her. It's simple math. It's 1 + 1. It's your Peter Pan. He's got your kids. Maybe she thought getting there would spark his memory and would, I don't know. Tinkerbell makes a deal with Hook to return Peter in 3 days for a climactic battle, and Hook promises to return Peter's children if he wins. It's a really cool scene because you get the introduction of Hook, played masterfully by Dustin Hoffman, which what a bizarre but worked out so wonderfully cast choice.
Yeah, it's so interesting.
But again, is definitely stylized completely from the Disney animated one. You've got the red coat with the hair and the beard and the mustache,
and the curly mustache, and manner.
Yeah, fits to a T. You have Bob Hoskins playing Smee, another incredible actor, and just it's such a star-studded cast.
Oh, big time.
So that's cool. But yeah, I love the interaction between Hook and Peter in this scene, where Hook is like, "You're Peter? No, there's no way."
Yeah, Hook's in agreement with Robin Williams. He's like,
overaged,
pot-bellied,
overweight, aging, loser,
non-believer.
Of a man.
Non-believer. Just yeah.
Can I point out?
Yeah.
The way that Smee reveals to Hook, confirms to Hook that this is Pan, is by lifting Pan's shirt to show a scar from where Hook got him with a hook, right?
Right. And they literally throw his passport off the ship. They're like, "Nah, we don't want visual confirmation. We don't want
yeah.
What's that meaningless thing?"
But this is clearly a very gnarly Hook scar. It's got a big curve to it.
Yeah,
it was clearly a gash. Tinkerbell must have put some of his intestines back in when this happened. This is an awful scar.
Right. Yeah.
To which Peter, the lawyer, is convinced that this is the scar from when he had his appendix removed.
Yeah.
And didn't somehow try to soothe the doctor.
Exactly. It's not a very seamless linear incision.
This is the scar that you get when they take your appendix out with a scythe.
This is the scar you get when you've been in a car accident and your intestines are hanging out, and they're like, "Well, we might as well take your appendix out while we're here."
Might as well, yeah. Your appendix has got some gravel on it, so we'll just...
might as well take it out while we're here.
Yeah, but
yeah, no, that's a good point.
Tinkerbell takes Peter to the Lost Boys, who are currently being led by Rufio. The Lost Boys initially scoff at the idea that Peter is Peter Pan, but with Tinkerbell's help, Peter finds using his imagination helps restore some of his abilities, although he remains unable to fly or fight against Rufio. Eventually Peter comes around. They do a bunch of things. They put him in a slingshot. They try to play basketball with him.
Yeah.
They what do they do? They do a bunch of stuff.
I don't even remember what else they do. But yeah,
and it's not working. Tactics. And it's not until the dinner. Where seemingly there's no food.
Right.
Everyone's just eating out of empty bowls and pots and pans and stuff. But what a magical moment when Peter does start using his imagination.
Right.
Not even just because all of a sudden food appears, but from an emotional character development, the change that you see in Peter.
Right. Yeah.
Is cool.
That scene specifically, And again, it could also be part of the magic of John Williams. But I'm not sure I'm convinced of the magic element in this movie, like as far as being drawn in. But from a film creating perspective, the transition of Pan, believing and then the food appearing, that's, from a filmmaking perspective, that scene is magic.
Right. Meanwhile, Mr. Smee suggests to Hook, Smee has an apostrophe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lightning has just struck his brain.
Mm-hmm.
He suggests that Hook tries to turn Peter's children against him.
Yeah.
Although this tactic does not work with Maggie, Jack is swayed, particularly after Hook has his pirates play a game of baseball. Like,
she doesn't bite whatsoever.
No.
At all.
She says, I miss my mom.
Yep. Not even remotely. He's slow to come aboard, but then once it's kind of the snowball effect, and then he's full blown.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I mentioned this before. There were certain moments, certain scenes where I was kind of like, okay, I'm not looking at the clock, but there was like, okay, I'm not into this scene specifically. So like some of the Lost Boys kind of chasing Robin Williams and kind of like the odd tactic here and there. But I love this film as far as just conceptually, it's taking this cartoon universe, but then fleshing it out just in a full feature length, like modern day film.
Right.
And I loved the concept of just it being more fleshed out and being more an actual storyline of like the captain turning his children to love Peter Pan's adversary. Like I there was just something about that story aspect that I'm like, this is so fun. This is great.
Mm-hmm.
And even just specifically that scene, this is less of a story comment, but I just love the scene where the magic in these movies are movies that can captivate a child audience and the adult audience. And when this is definitely for the adults, when Captain Hook was kind of bursting the bubble on the children's story time, that it's not so much about the sharing of a magic story, but it's just so the kids can go to sleep so the parents can have 3 minutes of silence.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good.
That was good.
How funny is the scene, like as grim as subject matter as it is, how funny is the scene when Hook's threatening to kill himself?
Right.
I'm going to do it this time. Smee, don't you try to stop me. Don't you dare try to stop me. Smee, don't try to stop me.
Smee, get off your ass.
Try to stop me. What? I'm committing suicide, Smee. Get up off your ass. And it's so good.
So here's my only thing. I don't know how I feel about the scene because I'm 98%. I love it, and it's such a hilarious scene between Smee, like the actors who play Smee and Captain Hook. The only thing, and I guess I just don't know enough, but I feel just a little uncomfortable having even just the concept of suicide in a potential children's movie. That's my only red flag about that scene.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a children-friendly movie, but I think the theming and like the audience of this film isn't children.
Right. Okay. That's fair.
Right? The audience of this film is like when this film comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look up here for a second.
Yeah, for sure. Because there was a couple scenes, less so with this as far as this suicide scene, but with like on the deck when they like put that like pirate in a little chest and throw scorpions in there. I was like, oh my goodness. Like
the boo box.
The boo box. I was like, depending on your age, I would just be terrified of this.
All right. So this film came out in 1953. Peter Pan, the original Peter Pan came out in 1953, which means if you grew up if you were a little kid when this movie came out,
right,
you're now in your 40s. You're now pretty much the same age as Peter.
Right. Probably, mid to late 40s.
And the whole premise of this movie is what would happen if Peter Pan grew up.
True. True.
And so the message of the movie
Right.
is to the people who have grown up.
Mm-hmm. And having them return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And so, I think entirely, it's a movie that you could watch with your kids.
But not
it wasn't. I
for
don't think
the kids.
I don't think kids were the main, because kids don't care about this.
No.
Kids want to watch the cartoon.
Right. No, that's actually a good point. Yeah. So back to your point, that is it is a really funny scene.
It's so funny. Peter, spying on Hook at the game, sees this and is horrified that Jack's kind of coming around.
Oh, yeah.
Tinkerbell then takes Peter to the treehouse that brought Wendy and his brothers together as children. And this again is one of those moments where it's the tree. It's the tree from the animated one.
Right. Yeah.
He's describing the layout where Michael's little basket bed was. He's describing all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so and so you can just picture back to this time where it was Peter and these other kids, and the Lost Boys at that point were still dressed as different woodland creatures.
Right.
That was their uniform under Peter. And then I guess maybe Peter left and Rufio had them change the way they dressed or something. I don't know. But again, it's just it just really pulls you back into this,
this universe. Yeah.
She not only does this to show him happy memories of his past and convince him to come up with a new happy memory, but to express that she's always loved him.
Yeah. So just walk me down, what is the dynamic here as far as, is Peter or Robin Williams returns, and we're jumping ahead, but just he's married to his wife, but he's also has Julia Roberts is the Tinkerbell who is actively in love with him. Is that the dynamic?
Basically, he doesn't have any feelings for Tink.
Yeah. Okay.
But she always, as we've seen in the animated one, has always fought for his affection.
Okay. Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Peter recalls how he was brought to Neverland as an infant by Tinkerbell.
Yep.
And then remembers the birth of his son, which, happens, my guess would be mid to early 1800s, based on the conversation of his mothers, how they're dressed, how they're speaking. So Peter's probably been in Neverland for close to 100 years prior to meeting Wendy.
Right.
So he's an old boy. Yeah.
He's an old boy. I just kind of want to stop you just because these are,
Sure.
I want to just point out a couple other things that I have on my heartwarming list. So one, actually, I forgot, I kind of slipped on it, but when he was introduced to the Lost Boys, and they're actually trying to discern, is this Peter Pan or not? And the one Lost Boy grabs his glasses, looks at them, pokes his face, examines him, and then realizes, it is you.
Yeah. Oh, there you are, Peter.
That scene is just heart melting.
Yeah.
But jumping back to where we are now, talking about Peter when he was brought to Neverland by Tink and whatnot. The scene where it's where he ran away from home, quote unquote, wanting to avoid growing up, as growing up leads to death, and just also the seamless connection to the cartoon where they explain how Peter came to the windows and finally came upon Wendy's window and just kept coming and coming and coming every spring until she was too old and forgot how to fly. I wasn't tearful, but that really got me in the feels.
I mean, this movie shows you him chasing his shadow.
Yes.
Right? Like it really kind of, yeah. And it dabbles a little bit in the whole, it recognizes that a thimble was treated as a kiss.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it's
And
so good.
and I
Man.
love like it's like I for the reasons I just said, it's so emotional and that really just spoke to me. But I also just love it just because it really just kind of seamlessly kind of connects the cartoon with this movie and explains why Peter was coming to Wendy's window and why, like, what led to this kind of continuing story of what we saw in the cartoon to what we see now. Right. I love that.
Yeah, good.
I'm glad. I approve.
Peter recalls how he was brought there. Remembers the birth of his son and the joy of becoming a father.
Yeah.
Restoring his ability to fly. This is the turning moment. This is the aha moment for him.
Right.
This is him remembering what it is that he's forgotten to remember for so long now.
Right. Yep.
What's been right in front of him and he's kind of not been cognitive to. Yeah. Which I think hits home for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
It's kind of a wake-up call for us all.
Well, and I think it hits home. It has potential to hit home to different people for different reasons. It's going to hit home to some fathers who have, you know, maybe gotten too caught up in other things and have stopped, who have forgotten to stop and enjoy their children.
Sure.
But potentially it also speaks to children who feel like they connect with Jack.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and maybe long for their father to have this aha moment, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Restores his ability to fly. The Lost Boys cheering at his success. And Rufio suceeds control of his sword, as well as control of the Lost Boys themselves to Peter.
Yeah, this is a changing of the guard.
Yeah, and man, Robin Williams' crow is amazing. When he crows a rooster. Oh,
right.
Again, it just sells it. Like instantly, you go. Yeah, from the time he bursts out of the treehouse and he's in the get up and he lands and his hair is kind of all like wind blown and grungy, like looks like he hasn't showered in a while, but it's kind of this like this forest boy charm to it.
Right.
And you just go, okay, I now can make the connection. I now buy that this overweight lawyer was at some point
a child,
Peter Pan, that he had all these adventures, that he fought Captain Hook, that he cut off Hook's hand and fed it to the shark, that he flirted with Princess Tiger Lily, that, you know, that all these stories all of a sudden seem more feasible. I don't know. On the third day, Peter and the...
Can I stop you for 1 second?
No,
this is a bit of anyways. I'm going to. This is something actually I just kind of thought of on a whim here, but I actually really, really appreciate from a costume perspective how they perceive or how they have Peter Pan depicted as Robin Williams by the end of this movie, because it's fine and good and okay in a cartoon to perceive Peter Pan, but I feel like real life adaptations, and I'm not a Peter Pan connoisseur, so I could be completely wrong, but like it's kind of the butt of a lot of jokes. Like I think of just comical movies where like 21 Jump Street, where they have just people in leotards and jumping around and it just kind of is comical. But Robin Williams, like, he looks like a dope Peter Pan.
He pulls it off.
Yeah. So I think that's from a story perspective. This is just like a costume design just depiction of Peter Pan, kudos to this movie.
Well, and the film leans all the way into his costume. Like they, there's when he first arrives back on the ship, Hook says, "How did you ever fit back into those dashing tights again?"
Right.
Right. Yeah. And it acknowledges this is a man in tights.
Yeah.
But it works. He looks great. On the third day, Peter and the Lost Boys arrive to fight the pirates as promised. Jack sees Peter fighting to rescue him and realizes that Hook has been trying to turn him against his father. Also has this "holy shit, my dad is Peter Pan" moment.
kind of a Turbo Man Arnold Schwarzenegger scene a little bit here, like
a little bit. And
my dad's Peter Pan.
And it begs the question, like, you're blown away by that.
Sure.
But you haven't seemed overly bewildered by the fact that this is Captain Hook.
Right.
This is never, like, you've blindly accepted the rest of this.
Right. Without question.
Oh, sure, Captain Hook. Right. Yeah, totally. Pirates. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Pirates.
Yeah. Another Tuesday afternoon for me.
Fairies, no problem. My dad's Captain Hook, I call shenanigans. Like, what's
right?
What's going on here? As Peter rescues Maggie and reunites with Jack, Rufio sword fights with Captain Hook, but is fatally stabbed by Hook in this duel. I never care. I never care about Rufio's death.
No, really?
I mean, it's a little sad.
Sure.
But I think the problem is that if I were to say that this movie has any, well, if I were to say this movie has any flaw, sure, I would say that it's that the movie spends so much of its time and energy pitting us against Rufio.
Yeah.
I spend so much of this movie not feeling like feeling like you need to constantly side against Rufio.
Yep, I'd agree.
And then it's not till right towards the end that all of a sudden you're expected to switch. And then feel enough emotion and weight when he dies.
Right. No, I completely agree with what you're saying.
Right? Like Peter's reaction to Rufio dying makes sense. Because by the time Peter regains all of his memories,
sure,
Peter remembers Rufio as one of his Lost Boys.
Right.
Right? As someone who was his friend. So that makes sense.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I think, like, my impression of this movie was that the characters were also thought the same thing you did. Because, yes, Peter was sad Rufio died. Like, there's no contesting that. But then they just kind of, like, lay him down, and then they literally just walk away. Like, it's not that, okay, now Hook must die because he's killed our friend and ally. It's, now let's go. We've done enough here. Let's leave. And they only return to fight when Hook's like, I will hunt down your children, essentially. And then even after Hook's dead, they all just kind of shrug, and they're like, who's going to be the next leader of the Lost Boys?
Yeah, I mean, I think the reason why Peter doesn't try to fight any more than he has to is, I think Peter has no desire to have his kids watch him kill a man. Sure.
And there's some merit to that, for sure.
And fundamentally, I just don't think Peter is is or has ever been the kill a man type of guy.
I don't think so.
Right? As a kid, he liked to fight and he liked adventure, but he wasn't out to kill anyone.
Well, okay. I agree Yes, you're right. Sorry.
And as a trained adult with the proper education, he understands the legal ramifications.
He does. Which
Right?
I'm also
At
just
the very
curious.
least, this is going to be a hefty civil suit.
So I'm in completely I'm in a complete agreement with you. But it also raises the question: what the heck happened? So what started the whole dispute with Hook and Pan that it actually got to the point where Peter cut off a human being's hand and fed it to an animal? Like that's messed up.
Yeah, I mean, like what initially starts the dispute between Hook and Pan?
I don't know.
I mean, there's movies that try to explain this.
Sure.
I mean, this movie kind of like I think it's kind of a yin and yang. It's kind of a light side of the forest, dark side of the forest, kind of a Batman and Robin thing.
Yep.
I think, like Hook talks about how Hook's been longing for a fight with Peter.
Sure.
Right? That's Hook's motivation behind all of this is he wants Peter to come back and fight him.
Yep.
And he doesn't want either of it to end in death because he full on, he says, like, I will, if you beat me in this fight, the assumption is never if you beat me in this fight, I'll be dead.
Mm-hmm.
The assumption is if you beat me in this fight, I'll return your kids to you.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think that's why he doesn't fight in front of his kids.
Yeah.
Or he's not out to kill anyone.
Right. No.
Yeah. Before dying, Rufio tells Peter he wishes he had a father like him.
Yeah. Wow.
Inspired by Rufio's last words and angered by Hook's vow to continue to come after his children, Peter has a one-on-one sword fight briefly with Hook.
Mm-hmm.
Hook eventually is caught in the collapse of the taxidermized crocodile that had previously devoured his hand, and is eaten by the crocodile. Like the thing falls over and kind of
Engulfs
swallows him whole.
Yeah.
Which again is one of those, like, I mean, from a look at it as a serious film standpoint, there's a lot of plot holes there.
Oh,
like, yeah, okay,
sure.
well,
Yeah.
But I think this film's got so much built-in liberty because it's Neverland. The answer is it's Neverland, and things don't work here the same way they work everywhere else.
It's a fantastical place where fantastical things happen. So for me, it was a perfect ending.
Yeah, so there's not many things that this film can do while they're in Neverland, or even you get the feeling that even when they're not in Neverland, the real world is heavily influenced by Neverland. Neverland's got this kind of outreaching ability. Right. And so there's very little that they can do in this film that you're going to go, I don't know if that's believable.
Right.
You just go, it's Neverland.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they've got this, like, built-in freedom.
Yeah. That just allows
to do whatever they want.
Yep.
The remaining pirates surrender, ending the battle. While Peter wants to stay in Neverland, Tinkerbell reminds him of his family at home. Peter turns over the sword, as well as leadership of the control of the Lost Boys, to the Lost Boy named Thudbutt.
Yes.
And then departs Neverland and flies back to the real world. Peter wakes up in Kensington Gardens.
Yes.
And bids a tearful farewell to Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
Peter races to Wendy's house and reunites with his family.
To which he, like, jumps by the doghouse that says Nana 9.
Nana 9. Yeah.
To the original dog.
Nanas.
Yeah, to the original Nana in the original Peter Pan.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. And the same is like a big sheepdog, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Peter recalls Thudbutt having given him a bag of marbles before he left Neverland, and gives the marbles to Toodles, who had been a lost boy himself as a child.
Right.
The bag of marbles contains pixie dust, and Toodles uses it to fly out the window. Peter admits to Wendy that his adventures are not yet over as he hugs his family, and they watch Toodles begin to fly to Neverland.
Yeah. Yeah.
The end.
The end. Yeah. I've got a couple things that I want to say about this.
Okay.
First, I just want to start with the Robin Williams thing. There was a scene with him in the market that I think is just absolute gold, and I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall where he did his multiple takes of this, but where Tinkerbell's like whispering in his ear, like, let your one arm go limp, hobble on one leg, glare with your one eye, like drool come out and go, yeah. Like, I loved that Robin Williams, just that was made for him.
Right.
But I wonder if this film, if it was the film's success of pinning us against this this serious businessman, or if it was just that it felt so unnatural for Robin Williams to play him, or maybe it was a bit of both. Do you get my difference
with him playing the lawyer? You mean?
Yeah, like, is it that I felt so, like, it feels so wrong for Robin Williams to play such a stiff, or that they just built it up and, like, the creative team did such a good job to make us feel that it was unnatural?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it never catches me off guard as not. It never strikes me as I'm not buying this. Mm-hmm. Right. I don't know.
And I'm not saying that I don't buy it either. I'm just saying that Robin Williams plays it so well that I look at him as the lawyer and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you are too, like, take a look at yourself in the mirror. What have you become?
Right.
So ultimately with this movie, because as we've said multiple times, I don't think I had actually watched this movie in full before.
Okay.
I liked it, just to be clear. I ultimately don't know why I like this film. I'm not sure if I like it as a continuation of this magical universe of Neverland and the journey that it takes us on, or if I like it specifically just if I just watched it as a standalone Robin Williams film that touches on, real human experiences of childhood being brief and the magical aspect that is childhood and how, like, it's a fleeting glimpse. And maybe it's not important. Maybe I'm just getting into semantics about being a film viewer of why I like this film. I don't know exactly why, but yeah, it's a pretty cool movie. I will say this: I went into this having this as of the four movies we had as a voting option. This was the dead last. It raised up in the ranking of the four films after viewing it.
Okay, so instead of last, where would it fall?
Probably still third.
Okay, what did it beat out?
It beat out E.T.
Okay.
Yeah.
When's the last time you watched E.T.?
Within the last 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's much more recently than I've seen it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think...
I haven't seen E.T. in probably 15 years.
Oh, wow. Yeah. No, I think, like, this movie, I think I ultimately maybe prefer the cartoon a little bit more of Peter Pan, just because I had seen the cartoon as a child, so there's probably some nostalgia playing in there. But I feel obviously Hook is the more superior film. It's just way more rich and developed because of just the topic material that the material that it covers, and it just touches on all these heartwarming concepts of the magic of childhood, and don't overlook it and don't waste it, and value it for what it is. And it's so short and it's so brief. Just yeah, it hits in the feels.
So for me, I feel like the reason I love this film so much,
sure,
is that start to finish, the film is just completely magic. And at no point do I not buy the film. And I feel like this film makes me believe things that I know are otherwise not true. So like, for instance, I just feel like the way that they create the world, the way that they explain that, this is Wendy, her and her brothers made up the stories, all this stuff, except they didn't make them up. And they are true.
Right.
And this man is a grown-up Peter. And all of these, like, because the film and through Peter's eyes and whatever, because the film says, basically the message of this film, what they're trying to tell you is, although this sounds impossible, this is the truth. Right. And I think because they acknowledge how unlikely this is, right? They say, this sounds insane, but here's the true story. Yeah. You go, it gives you the ability to say, like if they just gave you, if you sit down and you watch Chronicles of Narnia, they just say, this is the way it is, accept it. And you go, but that's not the way the world works. Right. Whereas Hook goes, we understand the way the world works. However, it doesn't work the way you thought it did. There's an underlying secret here. Right. Kind of a national treasure mystery kind of thing. Yep. And that enables you to go, oh, okay. Right. Like it for me, Hook allows me to buy into this story. It allows me to go, yep. Okay, this is, I will concede to this being plausible. I will, and to me, I think it just rekindles some sort of childhood magic. Not even specifically nostalgia about this film. But just sort of childhood magic that there is potentially. So as a kid, around Easter time, Cadbury used to release this. You could get this, like, I don't even know what it was. It was like this printed out brochure thing, but it was geared towards children, and it was basically a map. Oh. A well drawn out map with pictures and stuff of the world, the dimension, the area that the Easter Bunny was from. The Cadbury Easter Bunny. And you saw all this incredible, magical, but somehow still grounded within reality to an extent. And it made you believe that somewhere out there, as a kid, you believe somewhere out there, there's this incredible place. Right. That's real. That's real. And if you could only just catch a glimpse of it, it would be so wonderful
and fantastical.
And I think Hook does the same thing for me. That's cool. Hook bridges the magic of Neverland to our world and explains how that's able to coexist. Right. And I think does it masterfully, because even, like at the end of the film, Smee. Right. We see Smee back in the real world. Right. Yeah. So Smee's now, because I think, like towards the end of the film, Smee's like, what about Smee? Like, I got to get the hell out of Dodge here. Like, this is, things are not.
Things
we're
are
not going to
going-
win this.
Going downhill.
We're not going to win this.
No.
And so he kind of gets all of his stuff.
Yeah.
He steals some of Captain Hook's riches.
Starts looting. Yeah.
Starts looting, and he takes off. And so when he gets back, he has this kind of, he's pushing the bottles along, and looks at Peter and says, like, cracks a joke, says like rough night with the missus or something, right?
Yeah.
But my girlfriend pointed out, does so with a bit of a smirk.
Right.
Does so with a little bit of a wink.
Yeah.
A little bit of a yes, it's me.
Yeah.
I know it's you.
I'm aware.
But and just kind of this like, but we can't ever speak of that.
Right.
But that was a different life at a different world,
Yeah.
and we can't. People can't know about that magic. So, and to me that's so cool that now he's gotten out and he's gonna age. He's gonna live his life and he's gonna do whatever. But I have some trivia for you.
Yeah.
Is that weird?
No,
it feels like a role reversal.
People are going to be a little thrown off here, and I'm excited for it because I love trivia. So, you need to deal with it. The one thing I just want to tell you is you did pose that question to me. Does this movie convince me? Does it make me believe in the magic it's talking about? And
prior to
watching that, and I hope I didn't miss the boat. Maybe it's just people have different interpretations. I'm hoping I'm not missing the boat. But to me, yes, I found the magic that it was telling me about, but it was more of the magic of childhood and imagination and just not being closed off to those things.
Cool.
So
that's good.
Trivia,
I'm content with that.
Yeah, trivia is. I'm so pumped. Let's go.
Okay,
let's do it up.
So this mostly has to do with cameos.
Oh, okay, cool.
That are in this film.
In Hook. Okay. All right.
Because there are many cameos.
There are?
There are many cameos in this film.
Huh.
So, initially...
Okay.
When they... And some of these I'll give you options. Some of them I won't.
Okay. That seems logical.
When the kids are first kidnapped, they have sort of the royal guard, the Bobby come around. Right, they call the police. They call the British police.
Yep. Okay.
And there's sort of a detective there who suggests, well, it might not be, they might not be serious.
What is he? And yet they think it's like some
I know.
prank.
It's like, he's like given the history of the family and the whole that this has been signed. Like maybe it's a prank. And I'm thinking like, okay, but they still took the kids.
The kids are still missing, regardless of why.
That's a prank. Who plays that detective?
Oh.
I'm not going to give you options.
Oh. I honestly, I'm probably going to just say I don't know, because I'm trying to picture what he even looked. He had like a mustache, I think, right?
He had a mustache. He kind of had receding hairline, short, little more stout.
I'm just going to say Sean Connery, because that's my go-to if I don't know who it is. I could not tell you who.
So that detective was played by Phil Collins.
Like the music,
like the singer. Like the Genesis drummer,
like
the Tarzan soundtrack.
The In the Air Tonight, Phil.
Yeah, that was Phil Collins.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Next step.
Really? Okay. That's actually pretty dope.
There's a scene where we're kind of having flashbacks where Peter keeps coming back, Wendy's aging.
Okay.
Who plays young Wendy? Who plays the Wendy that like the youngest Wendy when she first, Peter comes in and she turns around with this big grin on her face and says, "Peter."
Right. Okay, this is I'm not sure if there were multiple people portraying her and if I'm guessing the wrong one, if that's the case. But my only guess is because I think I saw her in this sequence. Is it Gwyneth Paltrow?
It is.
Okay, I wondered. I'm an average to above average Gwyneth Paltrow fan. So when she showed up, I'm like, wait a minute, is that her?
Yeah.
So that one I was a little bit more aware to.
When Peter and Tink are first, when Tink's taking Peter back to Neverland.
At the beginning.
At the beginning.
Okay. Yep.
As they're flying over the city.
Okay.
Dust falls from Tink onto a couple that are kissing on a bridge.
Okay.
And that couple begin to float.
Float.
Right?
Okay.
Can you kind of picture that scene?
I actually, yeah. Yep.
Who is the couple? And I'll give you options.
So before you give me the options, like I guess just being raised in the CGI era, I really didn't pay attention to that, and I was just like, oh yeah, that's just non-human
those
beings.
were people. Yep, no, those were
okay.
people. Okay.
Wow, okay.
So, was it
Okay.
Steven Spielberg and his wife?
Okay. Yeah.
Which would make sense.
That's my go-to so far.
Would it be Roy Disney, the nephew of Walt Disney, and kind of was the head of Disney for a very long time? Roy Disney and his wife.
Okay.
Is it George Lucas and Carrie Fisher?
Okay.
Or is it Harrison Ford
Ooh.
and Angelina Jolie?
What? 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 I'm not going to Google anything just because I don't want to ruin it, but I'm just curious what to me, just Harrison Ford and Angelina Jolie seem too different in age. I could be wrong. I don't know her age off the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a similar difference to George, maybe even, like George Lucas and Carrie Fisher would have a huge age difference as well. Yeah, so two of those have a big age difference.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to draw this out just because I have zero idea. I'm probably going to go with one of the first two because the last two are not married people. Like, they're not married people, and I know people who aren't married kiss in movies all the time, so that's not that big of a deal. But it just seems logical that it's probably someone who's married but also has some clear, direct connection to the movie.
Yeah, Steven Spielberg would make sense because he directed the film.
Yeah, and then
Roy Disney would make sense just because it'd be kind of like a paying homage to Disney.
It'd be a coin flip between those two, and I'm probably just gonna go Roy Disney just because I could see it being like, hey, is an Easter egg, Disney, blah blah blah. So I'm gonna go Roy Disney and whoever he was supposed to be kissing.
Okay. Well, the correct answer is that is Steven Spielberg's good friend, George Lucas and Carrie Fisher.
Seriously?
Yeah, that's George Lucas and Carrie Fisher. Now, and I don't know, like, they're just silhouettes, so I don't know if they're actually kissing.
Sure. Okay.
But they play the couple on the bridge that float.
That's actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And Steven Spielberg used Carrie Fisher as sort of the original prototype for his Tinkerbell design.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, some of the early drawings and stuff. I don't know if she was ever intended to play the role.
Okay.
There is some merit to the Angelina Jolie thing.
Oh, really?
So at the time of this filming, Angelina Jolie was like 12 years old, but was on set.
Oh, really?
So Angelina Jolie's father, Jon Voight, the actor.
Yep.
Do you know about that? You know that they're...
It sounds familiar, but I couldn't tell you.
So Jon Voight plays Nick Cage's dad in the National Treasure movies.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so he's Angelina Jolie's dad.
Okay, that's not even a trivia question. You're just blowing me away with all these facts, but continue.
John is good friends with Dustin Hoffman.
Okay.
And so John's kids, Angelina Jolie and her brother, wanted to come visit the set to see Captain Hook, to do all this stuff. And Dustin Hoffman said, sure. And while I guess at the time Angelina Jolie's got like, you know, big like braces on her teeth, and she's kind of this lanky, thin teenage, like just kid. You know, just kind of an awkward looking kid.
Yeah.
Well, a little more awkward than usual by the sounds of it. And so, anyways, they're having this. Dustin Hoffman recounts a story of him having a conversation with her, and her telling him that she's going to be an actress.
Oh, really?
And Dustin Hoffman goes home that night and tells his wife about this, and just remembers telling her what a difficult time he thought she was going to have, just because she was so awkward looking. It's just like not an attractive person, that she was really going to struggle to be an actress.
Oh boy.
But I mean, he tells that story with you know,
sure,
with funny recollection.
Yeah.
Final question.
Okay.
And this is the one, I hope you don't know this one, because this is like the best cameo Easter egg of all.
Okay. All right. Cool.
You mentioned the pirate that gets put into the boo box.
Okay.
And has the scorpions put all over him.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
Who plays that pirate?
The one in the box.
The one that gets put in the box. Yeah.
Oh. He did not seem familiar to me.
I'm gonna make the question a little more interesting.
Okay.
Can you name the actress who plays that pirate?
What? Huh. Oh. No. I definitely cannot. Is there any type of hint you can give? Without, if not, that's okay.
I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah. Okay. Who?
That is Glenn Close.
Oh, sorry. Who is that?
She plays Cruella de Vil in the live-action 101 Dalmatians.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, that's Glenn Close.
I have to rewatch that scene. That's actually incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so good. So where would you rate this film? Scale of 1 to 10.
Well, just before you do that, those were really good questions. I liked that.
Thanks.
That was actually super.
I was up all night working on it.
Can I give you just a little Easter egg about the cartoon? Just because I found this interesting. It's not a trivia question.
Okay.
Actually, I'll ask this question. Between when Walt Disney sat at a table with some important people and said, let's make a Peter Pan movie, to when the movie came out in 1953, how many years do you think spanned between that first conversation and 1953? Because, movies take some time to make. It's not just like, hey, let's make it and it comes out next month. There's some years involved.
I mean, that's a fantastic question.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, because I'm pretty sure, like, Peter Pan first hits the scene in like 1902 or something, 1903. Mm-hmm. So Peter Pan's been a thing for like 50 years.
Right.
Right. I'm going to say 15 years.
You're actually close. That's actually respectable, but it was actually 18 years.
Okay.
There was so many obstacles. So Walt Disney sat down and in 1935 thought, hey, I want to make another film, my second film after Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And the problem was the rights of Peter Pan were held by Paramount. The Hospital for Sick Kids in London tried to make a deal for Disney to get the rights from Paramount, but it took years to get the rights. Finally, in 1939, Disney got the rights. They were working on it. And then while they were working on it, this little dispute called World War II started. And after the bombing of Pearl Harbor in December of 1941, the United States military actually took control of the studio and commissioned Walt Disney Productions to produce training and war propaganda films. So kind of Peter Pan kind of got shelved and put on the back burner. The war ended, but it wasn't till about 1947 that Disney's financial health kind of was more stabilized. and then eventually they started working on it again. Apparently, they were kind of deciding between Cinderella, Alice in Wonderland, and Peter Pan, and they felt that Peter Pan was the go-to, so they went with it. And finally, in '53, it was released.
Huh.
And I just found that interesting. I kind of knew about that before, like just as a film fan, that there was like a long gap between of when it was first kind of thought on a board, a board office table somewhere, to where it was actually released, and I knew the war was involved somehow. But
so so another interesting tidbit about that movie, there is a version. So when you're watching,
okay.
When they're first leaving, when Wendy and the kids they're first flying out the window and they're headed off towards Neverland.
Yep.
You see, as they're flying out over, dust falls on Nana as well.
Okay.
And Nana starts to float up.
Okay.
And you can kind of see her flying along behind them.
Right.
But then Nana's never. That's the last you see her. Like, she's not in Neverland.
No.
There was an alternate version of the film where Nana goes to Neverland with them.
Oh, really? Okay.
But that all got cut, and so there's a kind of a plot hole.
Cool.
I have one last hook question, actually, that ties in directly. I forgot about, and it ties in directly to the original.
Okay.
So in the original, The Lost Boys.
Okay.
They're all dressed up. There's raccoons, and there's a fox, and there's a skunk, and there's whoever.
Sure.
Name the skunk. I mean, you just watched it the other night, right? So you should have
like the actor who voiced the skunk.
No. What's the name of the Lost Boy?
Oh. I don't think I could do that. I'm trying to. I think I'm. Maybe I should know this, but I don't know.
So, the skunk's name
Rufio
is Toodles.
Oh.
So there's the story. There's the story of this elderly man who has forgotten how to, has forgotten the magic, has forgotten whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah. Thanks. I thought so.
So as far as out of 10, I gave this movie a 7.7.
Nice.
I would absolutely pay money to see it in theaters. Not my favorite movie of all time, so it's watching it once didn't catapult it into probably the same territory as your perception of the movie. But like I said, it did move up. Like, it did move up in its ranking of Steven Spielberg films to me, and I would absolutely watch this movie again.
Yeah, it's so good.
It is. Yeah.
I gave it a 9.3.
That makes sense to me, and that seems valid because it's a good movie, and I can understand why you'd give it a higher mark than I would. That seems fair.
And I like this movie so much that when it was over,
okay,
I went online and looked to see if there was maybe a horrible, low budget, never should have been made spin-off by some other company indie short film that was a continuation of this world.
Was there?
No.
Thank God.
Much to my disappointment.
Because you would have watched it?
Well, yeah, because I was like, even if it's awful, I just continue the story. Just give me more. Just tell me.
It's kind of like the people who hate the Hobbit movies, but they're like, hey, I love the Lord of the Rings universe, that I'll just take whatever, even if it's not a good movie, I'll just watch it regardless.
So when I guess during the filming of this film,
sure,
Steven Spielberg became really good friends with Robin.
Oh, really?
And then when Robin passed away, Steven watched the film sort of in remembrance of him.
Sure.
But couldn't get through it.
Oh, wow.
And wept for several hours afterwards. Like, just couldn't. Because to him, it's the quintessential Robin Williams film.
Right.
And I don't know. I mean, I would say it's there's other contenders, but I don't know if I could I don't know if I could come up with a strong enough argument to disprove someone who argued that it's the quintessential Robin Williams film.
Yeah, I'm probably with you on that one.
Right? Even if I disagreed, I don't know if I could disagree strongly enough to disprove someone else.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
So,
and
so I have one question.
Yeah, for sure.
Would you watch this week?
Interesting. So I didn't watch a whole lot other than, like, I obviously watched Hook and I watched Peter Pan to set up the watching of Hook. So I watched those two films. The only other film I watched is my recommendation to you. And
well, I hope you watched the recommendation I gave you.
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, sorry. I'm looking right at it. Sorry, I only watched 3 films in addition to Medicine Man. Sorry.
Okay.
So
tell me about Medicine Man. I'm so curious. I want to hear your...
So here's the thing. And we spoke about it briefly, but I didn't tell you anything about specific nitty-gritty details. I'm actually very impressed with this recommendation to me, because I absolutely scooped up like everything that this movie had to offer. Like, it was a very interesting movie to me, and I enjoyed the viewing. And I'm actually incredibly surprised that it got 19% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's got an awful rating.
Like, I'm glad I didn't look up
film.
I'm glad I didn't look up the rating before going into watching the movie, or else I probably would have had just my back in an arch being like, okay, let's watch this crap and get it over with. Because, and I don't understand why there's such a kind of drop off between how I think the movie is and where Rotten Tomatoes had it. But regardless, I enjoyed the premise and the setting. Enjoyed, and you know this, maybe this is part of the reason you recommended it. I absolutely enjoyed the 90s aspect to it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It was a little, it didn't throw me off, but it took some getting used to seeing, and I love Sean Connery and I loved him in this film. It took some getting used to seeing him with a ponytail, right?
Yeah. I think this movie may have been, like, my parents owned this movie on VHS as a kid. And so really? I think maybe that was my first real solid exposure to Sean Connery.
Oh, cool.
So to me, Sean Connery had a ponytail.
Oh.
Like, that was just that. So seeing him like that isn't unnatural to me.
Interesting. That's interesting. But yeah, this movie was really cool. The one thing I didn't like was the woman's accent, her Brooklyn accent or Bronx accent. It felt a little forced. Maybe if it's a real accent, then I apologize to her, because then it's just how she speaks, and I feel bad for calling her out on it. But it was a very cool movie. I loved it just from just sitting down watching a movie. That element of it. Also, it just dealt with some ethical dilemmas of saving the life of an individual versus that coming at the cost of the greater good, and do you let someone die as a result of potentially saving the world? It had a bit of everything, both on the surface level enjoyment of a movie, and then some deeper kind of underpinnings. My only beef with it is it went into the cliche that a lot of things do as far as film, in that it had the annoying cliche of, we found the cure for cancer. And that's just a beef, because there is no cure for cancer. Like, every type of cancer is so individualized that there will never be a magic bullet that cures every single cancer, like colon to thyroid to skin to whatever you name it. And I didn't decrease my grading of the movie based on this flaw. Like, it's just a cliche that's both in film and in society. But yeah, that's nitpicking.
I think the film, it does only, like, he refers to it, it's referred to as cancer a couple of times.
Sure.
But it's also referred to a couple of times specifically as lymphoma.
True.
And so I wonder if, if it was, but yeah, I just love the interaction. I love the energy. I love, my favorite scene is when, he tells her, like, none of the new serums work.
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
I've lost the serum.
Yep.
And she says, "What do you mean? What do you mean you've lost it?"
Mm-hmm.
And he just loses it, right?
Yeah.
He says, "I mean, I had the effing cure to the plague of the 21st century, and now I've lost it. Haven't you
Yep.
ever lost something? Now you have it. Now you don't. Your car keys, your purse. What's much like that? Like he just flips out on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's so much character development in this movie.
Yeah.
He goes from being sort of misogynistic to fully embracing her. She goes from being maybe too detached from the world of field research and too detached from. She's become more centered around results and has lost sort of the understanding of why they're looking for the answers that they're looking for in the first. She's lost the human element.
Sure.
And so she regains that, and then the whole thing's devastated in the end by the wildfire. And then but then they rebuild. The plan is they're going to rebuild, and she's got this blue thing on her forehead, so her fiance is not going to marry her anyways. And, it's so good.
This movie literally has everything. Like, it has a sense of adventure as it starts off. It has a sense of just curiosity of why is this serum not being found. It has like an environmental kind of us mistreating the environment component. Like, it has, to me, it was such a good movie.
Yeah.
I'm going to start an online petition on why it ranked so low on Rotten Tomatoes, because that's a crime.
Yeah, I don't get it.
No.
I really don't get it.
I don't get it either. I maybe said this, but I gave it a 7.2. I would absolutely pay money to see this in theater.
Nice.
So I watched that. I watched Peter Pan. I watched Hook. The only other movie is my recommendation to you. It's a 2002 film.
Hopefully, I haven't seen this one.
I hope so. I hope so too. That was so disappointing with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I was so hoping you hadn't seen it. So this movie, the director, I don't think you're the biggest fan of, but if it's any consolation, it's separate. It's different than his other movies, I'd find. It's less fantastical. There's two kind of ties to what we watched this week that I think connect to this. So like Medicine Man, this movie kind of deals with, does the end justify means? And it kind of raises a question on what's right and what's wrong and what cost and whatnot. But the other main tie is it has Robin Williams, but not in a comedic, heartwarming, fantastical role.
I'm so curious.
So it's a 2002 Christopher Nolan film called Insomnia.
Okay.
It has Robin Williams, Al Pacino, Hilary Swank. I started watching it a couple weeks ago, and then I just got busy, so I stopped. And then when we were watching Hook with Robin Williams, and then after watching Medicine Man, I kind of picked this up, started it over, and I was like, this, to me, it gels so well with these movies we just watched that it's my recommendation to you. I hope you enjoy it, but we'll see.
Cool.
What did you watch this week?
I watched Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
Which I love the art style.
Yeah. Right?
Like, it's so good.
It's just, that movie is, unlike Medicine Man, they got it right when they gave it a lot of critical acclaim. That movie just deserves everything good that's said about it.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I can really say about that.
Yeah.
The other film I watched is my recommendation to you.
Okay.
It's a
which
2000.
Which you sent me. You sent me some peculiar screenshots that I could not figure out.
You couldn't decipher. It's a 2008 film.
Oh.
And it's a film not without its flaws.
Sure.
Like, it's not perfect. It's not. There's there's sort of some major plot holes in it. But it's just fun. It's a fun. Pop some popcorn.
Sure.
And sit and watch the ridiculous action that's happening.
Okay.
I'll be surprised if you haven't seen it.
Oh, okay. Sure.
But I'm hoping you haven't seen it in a while. Or best case scenario, you haven't seen it.
Okay.
It has Morgan Freeman in it.
Okay.
It has Angelina Jolie in it.
Oh, I think I continue, but I might know where you're going.
It has Terrence Stamp in it.
Right.
It has James McAvoy in it.
What's
Where did you think I was going?
I don't
No, just
I
tell me.
can't-
What was your guess?
No, like I literally can't tell you because I'm drawing a blank and I can't think of what movie the movie title was that it's called.
Okay. Well,
Is it called
this?
Justified or something?
No. So this movie's called Wanted.
Wanted, that's it.
Yeah. Have you seen it?
If I have, I don't know if I've seen it all or if it for sure hasn't been recently.
Okay. We'll give it a watch. Like I
Okay,
said,
I will.
it's got issues.
Okay. Sure.
But just watch it as a goofy,
Sure.
over the top comedy.
Okay. Yeah.
Or not comedy, action film.
Romantic comedy.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple Chris Pratt's in it, so it's got some
What?
funny.
Really?
But
Okay.
like fat Chris Pratt. Like
Right, before he got ripped.
before Jurassic World.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Chubby Chris
Chubby
Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
Yeah. Back when he was Chris Fat instead of Chris, anyways.
Ouch.
Do you have any shout outs for anyone?
I do.
Okay.
Who is it? Is
So
it
far, so good,
Caitlin?
man.
Yeah. Is it Caitlin Suarez?
Yes.
She deserves a shout out for how all over the voting she was for Hook.
Yes.
Like,
She was
it
like
wasn't-
a...
Yeah, like it wasn't like, oh hey, I'm just checking my grandma's birthday and writing on her wall on Facebook. Oh hey, look, Hook's here. I'll give it a like. Like it was like a systematic, planned out, orchestrated.
Yeah, she was
Like-
mold on an old bagel, basically.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, my shout out goes to her because she was all over it and she won. So I hope she enjoyed this episode.
Cool. That's. I hope so too.
Yeah.
She'd better.
She'd better. After all that trouble, she'd better listen. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, or we'll have to. We'll send the boys around to pay her a visit.
The Lost Boys.
Yes. Toodles.
Yeah.
Okay,
any
bye.
shout outs?
No, I'm just saying goodbye. Goodbye.
Okay.